Welcome and thank you for choosing True Grit, the show about what it really takes to rise, rebuild, and stay the course when life hits hard. I'm Kalish, a coach, storyteller, and believer in the kind of strength you can't fake. Around here, we talk about real people, real stories, and the lessons that shape us, from resilience and mindset to health and healing, because grit isn't about grinding harder, it's about who you become when you don't quit. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to True Grit Podcast. I have a special series that I'm doing right now for the holiday season. I'm calling it Savor. Its intention is to give you a season of ease. I know that it seems impossible that we can make sure that we just coast through this holiday season with ease, but we're going to make more of an effort this time. So different episodes touching on practical nutrition advice and exercise, or lack thereof, actually, throughout the season, mindset shifts and reframes. And now this one, I'm really excited to talk about this one. This is one of my this is touching on the lifestyle portion of what I do as a coach and anchoring back into my history as an interior designer and knowing how much that makes an impact on our everyday life. I know how much color can impact sunlight, all these different things. So in today's episode, I want to talk about creating that feeling of coziness, because I think that's really what we love about this time of year, is just getting like all the nice lights going on, and we've got the greenery from the trees and the garlands all hung up, and it just creates that sense of coziness that we don't normally get throughout the rest of the year. So I want to amplify that by talking about some other things that I think that still get neglected. It's one of those things where it's like, let's make the old new again. And maybe some people are still practicing it, but I find that a lot of people have let these traditions go. And I'm really fortunate that I've had family that has still practiced these things. And I've always loved that. And I didn't necessarily have it in my everyday life, but now that I have a family of my own, we're absolutely practicing this. I'm so excited to see my sister also does the same thing. Like we love it. And we're also teaching our kids manners as we're going through that. And I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. It was a Brendan Fraser movie. It's going to bother me, but if you think about it, message me. But it's a Brendan Fraser movie, and where he grows up in a bomb shelter. His parents mistakenly think that they were under attack, and they close up underground, and he grows up in this bomb shelter. And eventually he gets to leave that, and he's got all of these old-fashioned ideals and that haven't been tainted by the modern world yet. And as he's sitting down for dinner with somebody, I want to say that he was practicing all these manners that she just wasn't accustomed to, and thought that he was being really rigid in it. And he says, like, no, manners isn't about like the activity of having to do this. It's not a have to do thing. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but it's not that I have to do that. It is a showing of respect for the other person sitting in front of you. And I thought that was really lovely. And I think it's so true. One of our anchoring points is actually around dinner time. And I'm not saying that we do this every single night. There are definitely like the pizza nights, and we'll do the movie nights where we bring the food over to the coffee table and we'll watch a show all together. But for the most part, we sit down together as a family. But we take it one step further and we create the ambiance around it. Once I explain it, it's going to sound like it's so many extra steps, but it really isn't in practice. But I always make sure that we set out some cloth napkins. I have acquired some different collections over the years. So, at first it was just a few of them, and then I've got some more, and now some more. And so there's a little bit of a collection. So it's a little hodgepodge. Doesn't matter. It ends up going in your lap anyway, but it is still something nice that you have right there on the table, rather than just putting out like a paper towel or whatever. So we do that, and then we light candles at the table. I have a couple of taper candle holders, and those candles are super cheap. So, and then they last for a while. We let it burn for a little bit during dinner. As soon as we're done, we blow them out, and they last for quite a while. But it adds to that atmosphere. And even with the napkins, I'm sure people are thinking like, "Oh, that's a bunch of extra laundry." It's like they're so small. They just get tossed in with the dirty towel basket that we have sitting on top of our dryer, and then when it comes time, then we just throw them all in, or I'll throw them in with my own laundry, whatever. I'm not super strict with how I do my own laundry, so to each their own, but that's my practice around it. And then to add on to that, we always have music playing. I mean, most of us now have a listening device that plays music. I'm not going to say her name because she's going to start talking to me. And also, if I say the name, she hears this on the recording, she'll start talking to you too. So we'll know who I'm talking about. But we just tell her to start playing some music. You'll figure out we're in Louisiana. We love the New Orleans jazz, so we'll find some like that. We mix it up. We don't necessarily have to have all like that jazzy classic music or anything, but it's still just something nice. And helps elevate the energy in the room. And I think that this kind of thing at this time of year, it makes it that much more special because because now we're having dinner when it's dark out, assuming that you're eating around the same time that we do, 6, 7 o'clock at night. If you're eating later, then you're always eating when it's darker. But there is just that sense of coziness and it anchors in the moment. That's the other thing. It's not about being this like hoity-toity, I'm gonna do things and make everything like all feel super elevated. And let's be honest, that does feel nice. That is really, really nice to have. But it does promote being present in the moment because it makes it feel special. So you're present in the moment, you're more likely to be connected to the other people across from you and showing that respect. We don't have our phones at the table. We're there to be present and sit there in community with one another and share with one another what's been going on throughout the day, what's on our mind. We crack jokes all the time as well. Our dog comes over and he gets very demonstrative and he gets demanding that he wants to eat as well, which, okay, side note. Anybody else have a dog that acts like a cat? We didn't know what was wrong with him for the longest time, but we have realized he's actually part cat. This 70, 80 pound fluffy lab chow mix, and he's essentially a cat with a lot of his mannerisms. We have him free feed, but you won't even know that he can free feed because as soon as he sees the bottom of the bowl, he comes over and is demanding that we do what we call stirry stirry. We have to shake up the food bowl to let like all the food fall down from the container. Oh my God. But anyway, when we sit down to eat, he realizes that's his time to eat as well. And he tends to get some scraps, but not directly from the table. We feed it to him afterwards because we know better, but it still doesn't mean that he doesn't come over and make his presence known sometimes. Anyway, lots of jokes that go on at the dinner table, and it's just again makes it really, really special. And then when we get to the actual holidays and having people over, then I really definitely step it up. But it's a me thing. That is like my love language. I love doing it. If you're listening to this right now in December, then you can go back and look at my stories that I've had saved. But I really love setting that up. And I've got tablecloths that I put out there. I will go and find all the sprigs of greenery to put in there, and then like some twinkle lights thrown in as well. I might even throw in some ornaments and different things. And it gets I go a little overboard, but it just makes for a really beautiful table setting. And again, just helps solidify it in the moment. And I know not everybody does that, but why not? It takes a little bit of extra effort, yes. But I do love the outcome of what that creates. And it's that feeling of awe and solidifying the moment that it truly is a special time of the year and for all of us to be together, even if it is just a couple people or it's a house full of people. It is still something really beautiful to do, and I really enjoyed doing it, and I love to pass on the inspiration to do the same thing. And what's fun too is you can get really creative with it. I have made sure that it stays low cost. I have also accumulated some things over the years, but I suggest going over to the thrift stores. You can find so many like cool brass features or the table linens to put out there. There's like lace curtains that you can just layer. Go on Pinterest. I get I can throw out all these ideas, but just go on Pinterest, throw in a few keywords, and it's going to pop out a bunch of really cool ideas that you can go and run with and play with. That doesn't mean that you're spending hundreds of dollars on this freaking table setting on top of everything else that's expensive during the holiday season. But go and have fun with it and realize that it's about what it creates for you and your family and friends. And so if you like this and you like kind of the feeling and the description of these cozy environments, you're really going to love what I'm going to be putting out there in January and February, especially for my clients. But I will have this as a one-off offer for people to go and get independently of my coaching. But if you are one of my clients, you're automatically going to get this. But I am going to put out a whole thing about what the Danes and Norwegians call Hygge. It's spelled Hygge, and it's about coziness. I think that the best way that they've been able to translate it to English is hug. It's that feeling of a hug. So there's a whole practice around it, and it's something that is really wonderful to do after you take down the Christmas tree and maybe like the season has now started to lose that magic. You can carry it forward without having to still keep up all the Christmas decorations well into February. So I'm going to be excited to bring that out there. Again, it's about living like this big, beautiful life. And it doesn't mean going on these huge trips. It can be right where you live and being present in the moment, making the most out of the time that we have here without it having to be these big, extravagant events in our lives. So I hope you're looking forward to that, or that you have checked it out if this is sometime in the future and I've already released it. But look for these different ways to bring some magic into your life, into your everyday. It doesn't have to be just on Christmas or New Year's or on Thanksgiving. Like, we can practice this all throughout the week, all year long, but especially like this is such a beautiful time to anchor in those moments and those practices and those habits. And so that's all I have for you for now. I hope this makes a difference. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much for being here on True Grit. I truly appreciate it. If this episode sparked something in you, share it, subscribe, or leave a quick review. It helps more people find these conversations. For more ways to connect, head to true-grit.fitness or come say hi on Instagram at true.grit_bold.wellness. I'll see you next time with more stories, lessons, and a little bit of grit.